I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That is not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone, if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. And this world has room for everyone. And the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in machinery that gives us abundance, has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than that cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in man, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and even little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of the human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die. The power they took from the people will return to the people. And so as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourself to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourself to these unnatural machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, don't fight for liberty. Fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, the kingdom of God is within man. Not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power, let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise, they never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do what national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite.
Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There we sit, cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, and all the time, wonderful people like Miss Mal are walking around right here in New York, and we don't know them at all. I mean, we think we know the world. We watch the news, we look out the window, we see the clouds pass by, and we think that's life. But it's not. Life isn't here. It's in the way we communicate, the way people laugh on the sidewalk, and the way Miss Malloy, well, I don't know from where you're sitting, if you can see, but for instance, the way her eye and forehead and cheek all come together up here, and the way the type of fireworks that shoot out of her eyes all the time. I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God. You can talk all you like about Niagara Falls and the pyramids and all those wonders that they write about in the books, They aren't it at all. And of course, back up there at Yonkers, sure, people came to the store buying this and that, ribbons, shoe polish, a pound of coffee. Wait. Anyway, women all the time, they're so mysterious. It's like every day, every time you talk to them, they have a kind of wall around them of pride and play. And even when they look at you, it's like they're staring deep into your soul, fishing out every accomplishment and mistake you've ever made in your whole life. I bet you can know one for hundreds or thousands of years and still never really be sure whether she really liked you or not. Even talking to one can put you in grave danger. And right now, this minute, I'm in danger. I'm in danger of losing everything. My job, my future, everything that I spent years keeping safe. And now I only have one thing left to say. I can't go back to Yonkers. I can't. Not after today. Not after what I've seen and said. We'll get in a cab right now and go down to the Battery and we'll dance. I don't care if I don't know how to dance. We'll dance anyway. And when we dance ourselves dizzy, we'll get in a boat to Coney Island. We'll ride the Ferris wheel and then we'll spring into the tunnel of love and then eat supper right there on the sand. And then tomorrow, I'll find another way to live. Some other way to work, some other way to get food, because I am never going back to Yonkers. Not until I marry Miss Mallow. Because a life like that, a life of freedom, is a life worth living.
Why should you bring home pizza? I know that I can have a salad instead. The salad is only 200 calories. It has vegetables and it's good. But if I only ate one slice of pizza, that's only 300 calories. Plus what I had this morning. I had about 4 pancakes, which is 180 calories, times 4, which is 700 calories. I've eaten 700 calories already today. Oh, and syrup, which is about 100 calories, plus butter, which is 80 calories a teaspoon. And then milk, which is 130 calories. So that's 1,010 calories. Plus what I had for lunch. I had 4 cookies, 180 times 4 is 720, plus breakfast, that would be 1,730 calories. If I eat that pizza, I will have eaten more than 2,000 calories. So salad or pizza, salad or pizza. That pizza would taste so good. And when does my mom ever bring home pizza? 200 calories or 2,000 calories is even a pound. I can just be healthy tomorrow. Just look at all that. Gosh, it's very difficult. The warm mouth-watering softness of the bread smothered in rich tomato sauce, with the pepperoni delicately intertwined and caressed in a beautiful blanketed cheese. But then again, my clothes haven't been tighter recently. No, it's true. Even my best friend won't talk to me anymore. The humiliation is probably just too much for her, or maybe she's got tired of defending me. But seriously, to just wake up one day and end a friendship because of how popular someone is, who does that? I mean, I thought we were in a day and age where it was okay to be different. Why can't people just talk to me and get to know me instead of talking about me and making stories about me? If I who am I kidding? If some kid accused me of eating 7 times a day, they wouldn't be wrong. I have done that. Gosh, what is wrong with me? I hate being able to grab into a fold in my stomach, and I hate being able to step on a treadmill to feel like it's screaming at me to get off. And I hate these lines that seem to rip across my body. I have to say it. I have to say it out loud. I'm starving, but I'm not going to eat that pizza. I'm going to be healthy for me. And I'm doing it today, not tomorrow. Give me that salad.
So there we are, a late August Monday morning, 6 a.m., on the football field, the all-weather track, looking forward under a slight haze of mist. I break out the running shoes on. It is so gel soaked. I don't own running shoes. Arming Samuel Classic, my favorite indoor soccer shoes. Some of the freshmen are puking already. The hotshot midfielders, who, don't ask me why, absolutely love torn, are in a circle, stretching and looking at us. Looking at their friends with smirks on their faces. I stretch, psych myself up, and get ready to wait for a coach's whistle. And off I go. For a few seconds, I focus on myself. My eyes straight ahead of me, looking down periodically at the red track and the white lines flying by me. Then, hesitantly, I reach to look up, and much to my surprise, I'm in the lead pad. I'm beating the midfielders grinding. But behind me, the rest of the team, we saw Petrie got into groups of 4 or 5, down to the last few guys who either should have been working hard on the summer break or just can't handle the pressure. And I realize I'm doing it, I'm actually doing it. So I go back to focusing on myself, trying to breathe, trying to move my entire body in one forward motion. And no ups and downs, no side stretch, just forward, and I'm running. Lap after lap, I follow them, trying to keep up. And I'm running. I pass the coach, and he says last lap, gentlemen, last lap. And you guys have 55 seconds left. I look at my watch, and then up. I'm up at the midfielders who have taken off at this news, leaving me far behind. I'm starting to feel like myself again. And then I said to myself, okay, Dan, you're gonna do it, now go. And for a split second, I imagined myself staying around the track and passing the finish line half a second before 8 minutes is up. My body, falling on the ground, my body curving. The coach comes up to me and says, well, the story was done. And that moment, I envisioned my triumph. And I make up my mind that I'm going to finish under time. Visualize and then go. If you can dream it, you can do it. And then I suck in a deep breath and gather my last bit of strength and strain myself towards victory. And then I hear a loud noise falling face on the ground, making up with the all weather track, and I can't move my leg.
What am I doing? Well, first of all, me and you are here to work on a play, to develop, to workshop a new, original American theater piece. Okay? You are a serious, committed actress who is now employed at work. Second, we're in no man's land in Fort Collins, Colorado, staying in bedrooms right next door to each other, so we are also at play. I mean, you're saying to me, Vicky, how could I do this gig by myself? I've been out here for 3 days, doing what it is I do, working with a cast of actors and a playwright. With this guy next to me? Oh no, never met him before in my life. His name's Bob Malone or something, you know. He's some guy who saw the play last summer. He found my website and called me and pitched me. Hired me to stage his play here in Fort Collins, Colorado. I was holding back laughter. I told him what I'd require, including my usual union rate, which I invented on the spot, and he agreed. I mean, Vicky, this guy's a huge find. He owns his own landscaping company, cleverly titled Malone Landscaping Company. I need a donation for the company. I want to do some other plays called Cymbeline next summer, but this time up on the field near 103rd Street. And I want to hire a publicist, you know, get some important people in the audience rather than these ignorant gapers with no idea what they're witnessing, you know? I mean, you'll be getting $160 a day. When's the last time you could say that? When have you ever said that? And look at this. You see this thing? He made us a little black box. It smells like tires, but you get used to it. And how am I taking advantage? A man is writing for the stage and I'm commissioned to help, to teach him something about the theater and to elevate his work. I mean, you'll be great. Come on, I need you. Right now, the cast is his deaf father-in-law and a couple of townies. The girl playing the wife kept laughing and would not stop laughing during rehearsals, so that gave me my excuse to call you in. So now she'll be taking over my ensemble roles so I can just focus on directing. Now you're playing the young wife. Just pretend it's some rural, artsy conference or whatever, Everyone involved here is boarding at his house, staying in bedrooms right next door to each other, obviously. Yours is the little yellow one next to mine. I mean, hey, it beats on-camera acting class, doesn't it? Beats the restaurant you're working at, doesn't it? Any other important business you'll be missing the next couple days? Because you're working for me now. Hey, where are you going? I need you here, come on. If I can't find any actors, I'll never be able to put on this play. Oh, I got it. I'll just write a letter to Broadway. They'll pick up my play for me and they'll provide the actors. Oh, I'm such a genius. Dear Broadway, my name is Kyle Sugarman. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am currently a sophomore at Abraham Lincoln High School, home of the Mighty Panthers. I have a 3.6 GPA, I am an honor student, and I am the playwright of my enclosed play, which I am enclosing here to send to you. The play is titled Spacebar, and it is about humanity. I am 16 and don't have an agent yet, but I ask that you consider this play as if it was written by some of my favorite playwriters with incredible agents like Neil LaBute or William Shakespeare. My drama teacher, Mr. Ramirez, told me that I should include a brief description of my play, which I will do after this quote. Spacebar is not about the space bar on the keyboard. It's about a bar in outer space, and it takes place in the year 9003. That's right, it's set in the future. And you might be asking, Kyle Sugarman, how do you know what the world will look like in the year 9003? And the truth is, I don't. Which is why I set it in the way future, so it can be roughly producible for the next 7,000 years. And I'm not bragging. Sophocles wrote 2,000 years ago, and we're still doing his dumbass, boring plays. So, give it a little look-see, see if you like it, and then reach me back. Kyle Sugarman. Here's my business card. If a woman answers, it's my secretary. JK, it's my mom. Alrighty, well, reach me back ASAP. Sincerely, Kyle Sugarman. Oh, P.S. Spacebar is copyrighted, so don't try any funny business.
I'm a famous businessman, Uriah Holzhauer. Today, I'm here to talk about the art of knowledge and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, gather around as I unravel the tapestry of knowledge that shapes our world. Today, I invite you on a journey through corridors of innovation, where wisdom intertwines with creativity to forge the future. Knowledge, as we know, is not merely a collection of facts. It's a dynamic, evolving entity that propels humanity forward. Consider the profound impact of the Renaissance, a period where art, science, philosophy flourished. It was a time where polymaths like Leonardo da Vinci bridged the gap between disparate disciplines, embodying the essence of intellectual curiosity. In our modern era, we stand on the shoulders of giants, yet the quest for knowledge remains as vital as ever. The digital age has ushered in an unprecedented era of connectivity, enabling us to access information to the speed of thought. But with great power comes great responsibility. Let's quote from Spider-Man. It's imperative that we harness this knowledge ethically, ensuring that our innovations benefit all of humanity. Take artificial intelligence, for instance, a field that's revolutionizing industries and redefining the boundaries of possibility. AI has the potential to solve some of our most pressing challenges, from climate change to healthcare. Yet, it also raises profound ethical questions about privacy, anonymity, and the nature of intelligence. I messed up. As stewards of this technology, we must navigate these waters with care and foresight. Innovation, however, is not confined to the realm of technology. It permeates every aspect of our lives, from the arts of social sciences. The power of well-crafted narrative, for example, can transcend boundaries and unite people across cultures. Stories have the unique ability to evoke empathy, challenge perspectives, and inspire change. And let us not forget the importance of lifelong learning. The pursuit of knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. Embracing a growth mindset allows us to adapt to an ever-changing world, fostering resilience and creativity. As Albert Einstein once said, the important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. In conclusion, the art of knowledge and innovation is a tapestry woven from threads of curiosity, creativity, and ethical responsibility. As we stand on the precipice of tomorrow, let us forge a future where wisdom and innovation go hand in hand, lighting the way for generations to come. Thank you.
Okay. So, with the scene, right, comes in, robot, giant robot, big robot, holding Mr. Incredible, okay? Is finally ready. You know I went through quite a few soups to get it ready for you, Mr. Incredible. But man, it wasn't good enough. After you trashed the last one, I had to make some major modifications to make it worthy enough for you. Sure, it was difficult, but it was worth it. I mean, after all, I am your biggest fan. But my name's not Buddy or Incredible anymore. Incredible either. That ship has sailed. All I wanted was to help you. I only wanted to help. But what'd you say to me? Fly home, buddy. I work alone. It tore me apart, but I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anybody, especially your heroes. Oh, come on, you gotta admit this robot is pretty cool. Just like a movie, the robot will emerge dramatically, do some damage, throw some screaming people around. And just when all hope is lost, Syndrome will come and save the day. I'll be a bigger hero than you ever were. Oh, I'm real. Real enough to defeat you. Lars, okay, hold on. And I did it. without your precious gifts, your oh so special powers. I'll give them heroics. I'll give them the most spectacular heroics anyone's ever seen. And when I'm old and I've had my fun, I'll sell my innovations so that anyone can be a superhero. Anyone can be super, and even anyone's superhero. But you see now you respect me because I'm a threat. That's the way it works. Turns out there's a lot of people, whole countries, that want respect, but will pay through the nose to get it. Did you think I got rich? How do you think I got rich? I invented weapons, and now I have a weapon that can. Now I got a weapon that I can only defeat. And when I unleash it, he says when I can unleash it, and then he gets a giant log thrown at him. So he's like, uh-oh. What? You slay dog. You got me monologuing. I can't believe it. All right, that's it.
Good morning, class. Now today, we're going to be reading a new whole book. We're going to be reading, I don't know, it's a mystery, right? Oh, it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You ready? Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated the whole Christmas. The whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight, but I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the worm-lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a missile wreath. And they're hanging their stockings. He snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find a way to keep Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would woke up bright and early, they'd rush for their toys, and then, oh the noise, noise! That's one thing he hated. The noise! Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to feast, and they 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 feast! They would start on Who pudding, a rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked least of all, the singing!
I know I may look different, but I can assure you, I mean no harm. Do not ask me who I am, for who is but the form following function of what, and what I am is a man in a mask. Of course, you can see that. I'm not questioning your powers of observation, I'm merely remarking upon the paradox of asking a masked man who he is. But on this most auspicious of nights, permit me then, in lieu of the more commonplace sobriquet, to suggest the character of this dramatis persona. This visage, no mere veneer of vanity, is a vestige of the vox populi, now vacant, vanished. However, this valorous visitation of a bygone vexation stands vivified, and is vowed to vanquish these venal and virulent vermin vagrating vice. And vouchsafing the violently vicious and voracious by volition of volition, The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Verily, the visual of verbiage fears most verbose. So, let me add, that it's my very good honor to meet you, and you may call me B. To whom, may I ask, am I speaking to? Well, I cannot know who I am speaking to specifically, for there are too many people in this vicinity. So, everybody, I may call you my audience. I am no liar, I will speak the truth, and nothing but the truth. The truth is there's something terribly wrong with this country. Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and depression. And when once you had the freedom to object, to think, and speak as you saw fit, now that freedom lies within conformity to others' opinions and submissions to other people. There are people more innocent than others, no doubt, but truth be told, if you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror. There were several reasons which conspired to corrupt your reasoning and rob you of your common sense. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic, you now turn to other people to live your life and make your decisions. They promised you peace, they promised you happiness, and in return, silence and obedience as they control you. I seek to end that silence and remind this country of what it has forgotten. That silence, freedom, and justice are more than just words. They are perspectives. If you see what I see, and if you hear and feel what I feel, and if you would seek what I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me, and together we shall give them a day that shall never be forgotten. Everybody here is special. Everybody is a hero, a lover, a fool, a villain. Everybody has their story to tell, and this can be ours.
What is all this? You can't keep something like this quiet. Captain, why don't you take these bodies and put them in a safe place for now, okay? Is everyone dead? The whole family? 2 families. No one's left. Of the whole royal, they all just kill each other, or what? Who's in charge now anyway? I mean, who would be able to understand this stuff? Right. So you're telling me a ghost appears to Hamlet and tells him his uncle killed his father, so Hamlet pretends to go crazy, or maybe he really is, and he decides to kill his uncle. But he stalls around for a long time instead, kills a guy who's not his uncle, gets sent to England, gets rescued by pirates, comes back and kills everybody, including himself. I mean, come on, Horatio. We've got to have a new story. You want to tell everyone in Denmark that their entire royal family killed itself, plus a family of reasonably innocent nobles, plus 2 attendant lords. Good God, Horatio. How much do you think people can take? No one wants to hear that their whole royal family is incompetent. Personally, I think that we should just replace the entire story. We need a story that will do something for us. Explain the bodies, preserve the monarchy, give the people some kind of focus for all their, I don't know, anger, loss, whatever. And most of all, something that will show people that everything that's happened up till now had to happen so that I could become king. I know how I'd like to explain it. A Polish spy. It's a perfect idea. Look, the Poles, bitter at Claudius's pact, with my uncle to grant me and my children free passage through Denmark so that I can kick their Polish butts. Send a spy to the court here in Elsinore. His job is to destroy the entire Danish royal family, you know, as a lesson to all who would conspire against the Polish crown, all that crap. Anyhow, he successfully sabotages the fencing match, bears a sword tip, poisons the weapon, the wine, and see the wine. See how easy this all is? All one guy sets the unsuspecting participants against each other in a sort of frenzy of sudden rage and paranoia, and executes the most extraordinary mass regicide in the history of Europe. And we can even add a lot of stuff about the war with the Royal Danes. He's mortally wounded and or poisoned. Suddenly realized that Poland had achieved his ultimate revenge, blah, blah, blah. You don't think it would be believed? I bet it will be. It's just so much better. Anyone can understand it. And the best thing is to give you that historical reason for being king that's so important to a new king. You see, I'm here to save Denmark from an imminent attack by Poland. Of course, if you want to tell that ridiculous story of yours.
Okay, so my monologue is about invisible friends. Come with me, if you will, upstairs. If you listen very carefully, you can just hear the distant sound of the greater spotted grizzly bear. My unbelievably talkative brother. Here we go. I'll just have a quick word with him. You might want to cover your ears. Hello, Grizzly. It's your loving sister. Just wanted to tell you that I have been picked for the school swimming team. Thought you'd like to know. Bye, Grizzly. I enjoyed that chat. He didn't hear a thing. This is my room. No one is allowed in here except for me, but I'm a very tidy sort of person, which is a bit extraordinary in this house. I think I might be a freak. I actually like to know where I have put my things. This is my bed, my desk. And up there on the shelf are my special, most favorite books. Actually, one of the reasons that I kept it tidy is because my very, very special friend, Sarah. Sarah also likes things tidy. Oh yeah, I thought to explain to you about Sarah, shouldn't I? You may have heard my mom talking about my invisible friend. Do you remember? Well, that's my invisible friend, Zara. This is Sarah. I want you to say hello to Sarah. Sarah, say hello to my friends. And won't you say hello to Zara? Zara, she said hello to you. I invited Sarah all years ago, when I was 7 or 8, just for fun. I think I was ill at the time and I wasn't allowed to play with any of my real friends. So I made up Zara. She's my special friend that no one else can see except me. Of course, I can't really see her either, not really. Although sometimes it's almost as if I could see her sometimes. If I concentrate very hard, it's like I can just glimpse her around my corner of my eye. Still, anyway, I kept Zara for years and years. It's been almost 10 years now, actually, until they all started saying I was much too old for that sort of thing, and got worried, and started talking about sending for a doctor. So then I didn't take her around with me quite so much after that. But she's still here, and when I feel really sad and depressed, I sit and talk to Zara. Zara always understands. Zara always listens. She's special, aren't you, Zara? At which he turned his music down too. I've asked if haven't I, but he says, how can I hear the music then if I turn it down? I can't hear the bass then. I used to have pictures up the walls of this room, but every time he put a CD on, they would all fall down off the walls. I wish he would listen to me just once like some Bash or Mazort. Of course, if he did that, he wouldn't be Grizzly Gary, now would he be? Oh, Sarah, I almost forgot to tell you. I got picked for the school swimming team today. Now I'm really excited. I did the breeze, stroke, and freestyle. Just like you told me to do, I got in. No, they didn't come. I mean, it's not like no, why would they have? If anyone cares at all, I was picked for the school swimming team. How about that, folks? Mom, Dad, anybody that cares? Great, thanks everyone. God damn it, they could, but no, you're always, of course not, and of course not. What was I expecting? Someone to actually, yeah, Zara, I know you're always here, it's just that sometimes I get so lonely. Thank you.
Trevor has a very complex relationship with his mother, who is a famous actress. He only sees her a few times out of the year. Now, he is an adult. Trevor wishes to be a playwright, but Abward's current standards of theater, in this monologue, he addresses his uncle Soren. At the start of it, he is pulling the petals off of a flower. She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. You see, my mother doesn't love me. Of course not. She wants to live, to love, to wear bright dresses, and here I am, 25 years old, a constant reminder that she is no longer young. And for that, she hates me. Besides, she knows I don't accept the theater. She loves the theater. She thinks she is serving humanity and is the sacred cause of art. While in my opinion, the theater is a hybrid of today is a hybrid and conventional. When the curtain goes up and in a room with 3 walls and artificial light, those great geniuses, those holy priests of art, show me how people drink, eat, and love and wear their jackets, flowing from those banal scenes and phrases, they try to fish out a moral. Some little moral that is easily grasped and suitable for domestic use. When in thousands of variations, I am served the same thing over and over again. And then I flee. As Massapin fled the Eiffel Tower, which made his brain fill with rigor. Thank you.
My monologue will be about President Eisenhower's report of the attacking on Pearl Harbor. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a day which will live in infamy, the United States of America was attacked by Japanese naval and air forces. The United States was at peace with this nation, and at the solicitation of Japan, was still in conversation with its government, and Emperor looking forward to the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. 1 hour after Japanese squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered to our Secretary of State a formal reply to a recent American message. And while this reply stated that it seemed useless to continue the existing diplomatic negotiations and it contained no threat or hint of war of being with an armed attack, it will be recorded that the distance from Hawaii and Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned days or even weeks ago. During the intervening time with the Japanese government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false hopes of continued peace. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval forces, and I am, with heavy heart, I regret to tell you that many American lives have been lost. In addition, American ships have been torpedoed on the high seas between San Francisco and Honolulu. In addition, American ships have been reported to yesterday, the Japanese government also launched an attack against Milo. Last night, the Japanese forces attacked Hong Kong. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Guam. Last night, Japanese forces attacked the Philippine Islands. And finally, Japanese attacked Wake Island. And even this morning, the Japanese attacked Midway Island. Japan has therefore undertaken an offensive extending throughout the Pacific. Japan has therefore undertaken a surprise offense extending throughout the Pacific area. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications of the very life and safety of our nation. As Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense. But always will our nation remember the character of an onslaught against us, no matter how long it may take to us to overcome this permitted invasion. The American people in their righteous might will win through absolute victory. Believe that I interpret the will of Congress and the people when I assert that we will not only defend ourselves to the utmost, but will make it very certain that this form of treachery shall never endanger us. Hostile exists. There is no blinking at the fact that our people, our territory, and our interests are in grave danger. We will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God. I ask the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
you ever met someone so incredibly nerdy that it actually changes your whole entire perception of reality? Like, you thought you knew what nerdy was, but then boom, you meet this guy and all of a sudden all the Star Trek characters is like the mainstream pop culture? Yeah, this is Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the one and only, the nerd. This is the human equivalent of a Wikipedia page that no one asked to. This isn't a compliment. Wikipedia is not a word to use as a credible source for your essay. I don't see no .org, no .edu, no .gov. I don't think it's very reliable. But hey, he does kind of define as a Google because he knows every single thing on every list and every paragraph and sentence. I swear, this guy has a personal ranking system for Star Trek captains. And if you don't exactly say what he wants to hear, he will fight you. He literally will fight you. But I mean, verbally, of course, because that's part of And it all started when my roommate Jason decided, without consulting, mind you, that Kevin should be our new Dungeons and Dragons master. Now, I'm a casual. Yeah, I watch movies, yeah, I play video games, but Kevin, let me tell you, this guy, he acts like he was there when Tolkien wrote The Lord of the Rings. He talks about it like some old war story, like back in my day, when we had real dice, not just fancy, non-stuff app. So I figured, I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I showed up to the first session with a character I found in Google, and then I thought he was going to be happy that I showed up. No, he looked at me like I just committed a crime. He takes the paper and holds it up in the light like he's testing for forgery, like this. And then slowly shakes his head and goes, "This is unacceptable." Unacceptable? Excuse me, Kevin, but I just spent the last 2 hours trying to figure out what chaotic neutral means. And that means now I have to redo everything. That was red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, Kevin refuses to speak in anything other than a dramatic medieval accent at all times. No questions asked. I asked him where the bathroom was, and he actually said, the chambers of porcelain down yonder hall, good sir. Kevin, my God, this is a shit. Then there's the fact that he just doesn't play. He lives in it. It's his whole world. It's his reality. He insists on calling me by my character's name at all times. We went to a coffee shop last week, and when I ordered a latte, he said, a fine elixir of the morning. Maybe perhaps our next quest lies in here for the Woodbee. Woodbee is also Wi-Fi. Get it right, perhaps. And don't even get me started on the board game tonight. This man cannot lose. He refuses to lose. Oh, okay. If you don't have settlers of Catan, he accuses you of collusion. Oh, beat him at risk, and suddenly you're a war criminal. Okay, I once beat him at Monopoly, and he actually stood up, flipped the board, and said, "This economy is corrupt." But the worst part is, did I mention worst yet? Yeah, the worst part was when he convinced us all to go to the Renaissance Fair, and, okay, don't blame me. I would love a good vegan turkey leg as much as the next person. But Kevin, this guy is different. He took it way too far. He spent weeks doing his own chainmail. He learned the entire medieval dance routine. Who knows how long that took? And at once, he knelt before the queen, pulled out a scroll like this, and started reading a sonnet about the allegiance to the realm. Embarrassing much? I got secondhand embarrassment. Yeah, I don't blame that girl. I have never seen a real-life woman back away that fast. She was like the light of speed or something. Sonic, perhaps? I don't know. It was just embarrassing. And, as much as I complain, as much as I suffer in the presence of his overwhelming nerd energy, I have to admit, Kevin is kind of awesome. I mean, yeah, sure, he's intense. Sure, he yells, "For the Horde!" at the completely inappropriate times, and yeah, maybe his entire entire wardrobe because there's a record that says level 99 is master. But when you look at it, at the end of the day, Kevin is all in. Like, go big or go home. Nothing in between. He doesn't care if people think he's weak. He doesn't care if he gets strange looks by yelling, "Hi, Odin's beard!" in public. He loves what he loves, unapologetically. And honestly, even though I say all the stuff about him, I think we all could use a little more of Kevin's energy. That said, if he does try to make me play ball with him one more time, do you know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing? I'm going to call the police.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, have struggled here, consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, will long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be here dedicated to the unfinished work which who they fought have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be dedicated to the great task remaining before us. That these honored dead, from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. That these dead shall not be here highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth.
Macbeth, a tragedy by William Shakespeare, takes place in 11th century Scotland and follows the twisted path of a nobleman named Macbeth. After a victorious battle, Macbeth and Banquo, who was the first place at the time, come across three hags to deliver a chilling prophecy that Macbeth would become king, but Banquo's descendants will inherit the throne. Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, suggests the idea of, well, why don't we just kill the current king of Scotland, King Duncan? Unsurprisingly, Macbeth is a little bit taken aback by this concept, due to the morality of such a crime. But it wouldn't take long until he not only succumbed to his wife's own taunts, but also his own unchecked ambition. Once becoming king, Macbeth's reign is one marked by total bloodshed. And eventually, this bloodshed would lead to him and his wife, Lady Macbeth, to go mad. And so, eventually in the play, Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, commits suicide off stage. And it's never really talked about. And so I thought maybe it would be a good idea to try to see, what happened? Oh, and I should keep in mind that I'm going to be looking at my hand a lot here because what Lady Macbeth is seeing is blood, and so she's just hallucinating. The blood. It comes to haunt me yet again. Why not so much? Hath my suffering not satiated thee, Duncan? Thy time was bound to come, whether by my hand or fate's. It was a fate called to me. No fault was mine. Or is it? No. that led me. I did what was simply right. What else could I do? What other path was there? I am no monster, am I? It was the only way. Yet, it clings to me. I am not. I did what was right. It had to be done. But still, the dead whispered. So why dost thou hunt on to me, brother? Why dost thou linger in my heart? Why dost thou whisper in the dead of night, even when my husband doth turn away? He turns away. He sees his name, but he dare not speak of it. His eyes do pass over me as one passes a graveyard, swift, fearful, as if I'm already dead. He called me his loved ones. When the crown first seemed within our reach, he clinged to me, listened to me. We were one of mine then, were we not? But now I am a specter to him, a shadow of what was. Or mayhap I was not but a whisper in his ear from the start, a devil perched upon his shoulder. And now that his throne is set, he hath to be. What was it all for? The blood, the sleepless nights, the weight upon my soul. What? Was this always to be my end? Not queen, not victor, not the architect of kings, but a wretch, a madman, a ghost. I was once strong. The raven himself was hoarse with my ambition. I called upon darkness, upon spirits to unsex me, and they answered. Yet here I stand, weary of shadows, hunted by things unseen. And he who I raised to power, hath left me alone in this abyss. Is this the only way? To silence the voices? To free myself from these chains of my own forging? Let it be so. What's done cannot be undone. And so, I go.
I'm doing a part of Jack and Beanstalk. Alright, deep breath, Jack. You got this. Nothing to be afraid of. Just a little adventure. Who am I kidding? This is complete everything. I mean, let's review. I sold a cow for a handful of magic beans, planted them, woke up to find a giant beanstalk shooting into the sky. And instead of running in the opposite direction like the same person, here I am standing at the base about to climb it. Guess what? I think there's treasure up there. I think this is my big break. But what else am I supposed to do? Mom and I are broke, beyond broke, scraping by on the soup broth broke. So yeah, even if there's a chance for something up there, I have to take it. Right, no fear, just one step at a time. Okay, maybe I should have thought this through. No ladder, no ropes, just me and some vines. And I don't exactly have the strength of a hero. I can barely carry a bucket of water without my arms giving out. What if there's nothing up there? Or worse, what if there is something up there? Some big, terrifying creature that doesn't take kindly to trespassers. Great, Jack. You're talking yourself up before you even get started. Real inspiring. No more thinking, no more doubting. I just have to go for it. And if I fail, well, at least Mom won't have to worry about feeding me anymore. But what if this is a mistake? What if I climb all the way up there and find nothing? Just an empty cloud and a long way down. What if I disappoint Mom more than I already have? Alright, let's think this logically. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's magic. Magic means something incredible to me. I just have to take it. Or maybe I should wait. Give it a day, sleep on it, gather supplies, prepare myself mentally. Or I can just climb it now before I completely lose my nerve. Oh, what do you know? You're a bird. Flying is literally your whole deal. You don't get it. I mean, have you ever had to make a life-altering decision while standing in the dirt with nothing but questionable judgment and desperation to guide you? No, I don't think so. Look, I know this is crazy, I know that logically there's no reason to believe that climbing a giant plant is a good idea, but let's be honest. When has my life ever been fun? I traded a whole cow for beans. People still give me that look in the village, like, oh, there goes Jack, the boy who swapped his livelihood for soup ingredients. And Mom, she looked at me like I shattered her last time. And you know what? Maybe I did. Maybe she was right. The goal was beautiful. Maybe I should have found a real way to fix things. Like, I don't know, a job, a plan, something that didn't involve magical beans. But this is my shot. If there's something up there, something valuable, I can change everything. I can come back a hero instead of a village idiot. I can tell Mom, look, I did something right. And for once, maybe she won't have to worry about tomorrow. Yes, I know, I talked to you, but you're still here, so you really enjoy the drama. Alright, enough stalling. No more excuses, no more doubts. It's time to do something big, something insane, something magical.
On January 20th, 1961, John F. Kennedy was sworn in as the 35th President of the United States. At this time, the world was in the midst of a Cold War due to the tense struggle between communism and democracy, and booming nuclear threats from the Soviet nation. This speech was not just for America, this was meant for the entire world. This was meant to emphasize America's strength, unity, shared responsibility, and integrity. This is John F. Kennedy's inaugural address. Vice President Johnson, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend Kennedy, fellow citizens, we observe today not a victory of the party, but a celebration of freedom signifying renewal as well as change. What I have sworn before you to save Solomon with our forebears prescribed nearly a century of Greek life. The world is very different now. The torch has been passed on to a new generation of Americans. Born in this century, tempered by war, split by peace, proud of our heritage and willing to witness the slow evolution of human rights to which this nation has always been committed. Let every nation know whether it wishes us well or ill, that we should pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to ensure the success and survival of the living. To old allies, we pledge the loyalty of faithful friends to new nations. We pledge our support to companies and ourselves, to those who struggle to break the bonds of misery. We pledge our best efforts. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Let both sides explore what problems unite us, instead of knowing what problems divide us. Let both sides join in creating not a new balance of power, but a new world of law, where the strong are just and the weak secure. Now the trumpet summons us again, not just as a call to bear arms, though we need, but to bear the burden of a long twilight struggle and the long history of the world. Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. Let every nation know that we shall remain strong, not just for ourselves, but for those who long for freedom. We shall remain strong across the globe. Let all those who struggle against oppression know that they are not alone. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, but what we can do for your country. My fellow citizens around the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man. Finally, let us go forward, asking His blessing and His help, but knowing here on earth, God has truly made our own. But God's work is good.
We say that our black kings are royalty, but live in dishonesty. For no matter how hard his parents worked, he chose to live dishonorably. If we are such kings, then why do we choose to live by the way of the peasant? But I say, fuck the past, the present. If there's one big present I'd like to give to my parents, it'd be to not raise a generation of wannabe peasants, and to raise my sons and daughters up to be the kings and queens that they are supposed to be. A generational curse is like having a chip on your shoulder that if you're not careful, it will stumble down a mountain and smash you like a boulder. My father once said, as long as your last name is Daniels, you are a winner in this family. I always wanted to grow up and be very successful, but lately been slacking. Just till the end of the semester, I'll make the magic happen. I go to school because I'm not a fool. I know that school is a tool that will help me gain some life skills so that I don't fall out in the real world and possibly get killed. Ending a generational curse is like trying to score a touchdown up the field while trying not to get tackled. My future for the football in this case is in my hands, and I gotta hold on tight and not drop that ball, or my future in this case, or else, or my future in this case, or else, I'll lose everything and be just another dreamer in my family. My parents raised me to be a baller, and I'm not talking about sports. I'm talking about life. You get one life and one shot in this world. And while you're down on this earth, you gotta stay balling in everything you do in life. Becoming a failure is straight disrespect to your parents and your grandparents and generations of your family before you, because I am raised to be better than the generations before me. I am the shepherd, not the sheep. My only thoughts is to succeed. I'm a chosen seed. I grow then, I multiply the generations that come thereafter me. As my stepfather once told me, we raise y'all to be better than us. That is how I remind myself to not fall short and try to be the different breed that I'm supposed to be. I'm a king with two wings. My only thought process is to fly high and succeed. I am no Isaiah Daniels, my family's chosen seed.
So this is a story from my childhood where it was a whole trauma accident. So it was around 2020, it was in September, and I just got home from school and I had just been expelled. I got into a fight with a random kid, and I got expelled, and I got my parents back. I got picked up from school from my mom, and my grandpa was an alcoholic, and so he was waiting for me at home. I walked in the door, he's sitting on the couch, starts yelling at me. My grandma has to leave, so I get left at home. He instantly starts yelling at me. So I decided to go upstairs. He calls me back down, and so I get a go. And it turns into him just hitting me. So I'm crawling away from his arms. I got dragged back. He told me to go get in the shower, so I did. He called me back, and I started to walk down the stairs, and I remember getting grabbed by my neck and pulled down the rest of the stairs. I remember after looking at myself, I had a small gash in my neck. And after that, he continued to hit me, and I just played along because I thought it was normal at the time. That was another thing. He continued to keep going. So my grandma got home one day, her dad was the day, and was asking me if I was okay, and I said, yeah. And she knew something was up, so she kept asking me, and I finally told her. And on my back, I was bruised up and everything. And then she saw my neck. This whole thing started over a childhood item he gave to me that I lost. I found out my school teacher, I put it in my bag, and I didn't know that. So months later, I was back at it, finding the object, not knowing it was in my bag. And to this day, the dude tries to contact me and try to apologize, but I just let it go by.